That's it. I rest my case.
The Middle East has been an enigma to most people for a long time. 13 years ago, I tried to explain it. Some of the characters have changed, but the confusion remains the same.
Discussing the turkeys of the year. One turkey remains constant. The conflict in the Middle East. Now, I know you're all confused about what's happening there. So tonight, as a public service, I'd like to explain it to you. We are looking at a tinderbox. We are looking at the most troublesome spot in the world. And what the problem is, basically, it's tribal and feudal hostility. Right now, Iraq and Iran are at each other's throats. And the Middle East is choosing up sides. It all started when the Shah was kicked off the peacock throne. When the Shah fled, he was replaced by Bakhtiar, who was immediately replaced by Bani Saad. Now, Iran is being ruled by the Ayatollah Khomeini, who during the Shah's reign lived in Paris. Some people say that the Ayatollah has a few strands missing from his flying carpet. Now, how sane can you be when you leave Paris to live here? Now, Iraq is being run by Saddam Hussein. He went to school in America and was voted the man most likely to invade Iran. Aligned with Iraq is Saudi Arabia, ruled by the King Khalid of the House of Saud. Now, Saudi Arabia, a monarchy, and Iraq, a socialist state, swallowed their differences and banded together to form an informal power bloc. Now, Jordan, who was ruled by King Hussein, not to be confused with Saddam Hussein. See, now, Jordan is aligned with Saudi Arabia. Jordan had to align with Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia holds the mortgage on Jordan. Syria is ruled by Hafez al-Assad, not to be confused with Bakhtiar or the Bani Saad. Although Syria's sympathy lie with Iran, they can't get involved because they're very busy keeping the peace in Lebanon. And they're doing a terrific job. Lebanon is in pieces. And Lebanon is run by this man, Danny Thomas. Not to be confused with the King Khaled, although they share the same nose. We'll get to Israel in a minute, which is what they'd all like to do. Israel and Egypt, in the Camp David discords, signed a peace treaty. Egypt is run by Anwar Sadat. Israel is run by Menachem Begin, who now calls himself Menachem Reagan. Menachem Begin promises he's not going to build any more settlements on the West Bank, only condominiums. Now, let's get back to the war. It all started when Iran accused Iraq of fomenting unrest among the predominantly Arab population of Iran's oil-rich Khuzestan province. Iran then called upon Iraq Shiite Muslims to overthrow the Saddam government, which is dominated by Sunni Muslims. Are you writing all this down? For those of you who tuned in late, you got Iraq being supported by Jordan, Saudi Arabia. Now you have Bahrain, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Not to be confused with Addis Ababa, Abu Ibn, or the ever popular Abu Dhabi honeymoon. Now, let's not forget the tiny nation of Kuwait. Kuwait? Kuwait. Kuwait. All they're interested in is pumping oil. They have to get their oil through the Straits of Hormuz, which is controlled by Oman, which is ruled by the Sultan Qaboos. What the hell is he dressed up for? Oman's got 11 people in a goat. Oman is not free from conflict. You see, they got a little problem down here. They're being threatened by South Yemen, which happens to be north of Yemen. Yemen is very famous as the fashion center of the Middle East. They make all the designer clothes for Yasser Arafat. Not to be confused with Ringo Starr. On the side of Iraq is another great Arab nation, Russia, who's been arming Iraq for 20 years. Now, it stands to reason Syria, which hates Iraq's guts, also made an arms pact with Russia. Now, Russia, in the spirit of Muslim Brotherhood, invaded Afghanistan and threatened Pakistan. Now, the Pentagon, moving swiftly, counteracted this massive deployment of Russian troops by sending 4 airplanes to Saudi Arabia with hearing devices. So now we can hear how bad we're doing there. Now, who's on the side of rich little Iran? Not rich little, no. We have Libya, which is run by Colonel Gaddafi, and they gotta throw a net on this guy. Colonel Gaddafi makes the Ayatollah look like Donny Osmond. This whole situation is available in the game by Parker Brothers. Now, this is the stage. These are the cast of players. You put music to this, we'd have a hell of a hit. The Middle East Side Story. 1, 2. We got Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran. Libya, Algeria, Qatar, and Oman. South Yemen, which is north. Yemen, which is south. We don't leave Syria or Lebanon out. Morocco, Jordan, Egypt, too, and the little Dubai and the Abu Dhabi. There's King Hassan and the 2 Hussein and the Caliph who's the chief who runs Bahrain. Ahmed Assad and Arafat, Menachem Begin and Sadat, Bani Sada, Khomeini, and the Khalid who's the king of Arab.